Come see the relics of our earthly invasion. September 13th, let there be GWAR at the Beyond the Streets gallery or some shit. What? This thing is free? Who allowed that? You better get here before they start charging for this thing. Hey, LA! GWAR's coming for you just as soon as we figure out how these Well, Thor, time to go hit it. We're going to LA to the Beyond the Streets, the art show gallery. Yeah, September 13th. All right, we'll be there in time. See this thing. Retrospective at Beyond the Streets. That's right, 300% more mayhem guaranteed. September 13th. Be there. Hey, we are GWAR. Come on down to Beyond the Streets. GWAR! Meet us this weekend. We came from outer space to conquer Earth. And we ended up in a gallery in Los Angeles. We thought In-N-Out was a mating pit. It's just burgers. But we stayed, we feasted, and we bled ketchup. What's going on?
If you're watching this, you're probably already dead.
GWAR! Beyond the Streets!
This is great.
No, this is GWAR. This is not.
Get out, back in outer space, we used a drink!
I love and appreciate someone that has as much of a problem with collecting, hoarding, archiving as I do, and someone whose things they're hoarded and collecting I would never have access to, and to be able to work with it, come in, touch it, have mutual respect and trust to figure out what the story is. It was fantastic.
Roger and I worked together really well on curating the book. I have the stuff, he's got the eye. I've been saving GWAR history since I've been in the band. And then this is just, 40 years of costume artistry. The punk side of us for me is like, we don't let the fact that we don't know what we're doing stop us.
Obviously, the human race is in love with self-destruction. We are only satisfying a consumer need.
More of this interview is I don't want to know.
Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper, and if you're watching this, you have found the GWARPod. Oh man, I'm really excited about today's episode. We're live from the gallery, the Let There Be GWAR gallery in Los Angeles. The curator or co-curator, we're going to find out exactly what his role is. Roger Gastman is here. Oh, it's so exciting. It's more than a gallery. It's a whole product line. They reissued the book. I got mine right here. It's, it's got some cool stuff on it. Look at the back right here. And oh my God, I've been wanting this for probably over 30 years. Hell yeah. We're going to talk about the book, The Mind Control Monthlies. I should have grabbed, it's in my GWAR cave here somewhere. I have the old GWAR catalogs. Where as a kid, I would just stare at it. I'm like, I want those Mind Control Monthlies, but I can't afford $5 or whatever it was. So thank you, Roger. Even more exciting stuff. Here's the other thing that came with the book. I got the 7-inch, what's it called? Carnival Freaks, the Outtakes of Chaos. I haven't put it on the record player yet, but oh my God, it's beautiful. It's the limited edition Tilt-A-Whirl Puke Yellow. Let's look at that. Let's see how puke-tastic it is. Is that a word? It is now. Beautiful, beautiful. GWAR is just stealing all my money as usual. and I'm here to celebrate it. Let's just jump into it, shall we?
GWARPod comes from on GWARPod. 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 GWARPod.
Hi, Roger.
Hello.
It's a longer than usual intro, but I feel like it was all warranted with the promos, and you really get a sense of what's going on over there.
Thank you. It was great. I haven't sat there and watched them all together, and I know there's even a few more. So
Yeah, well, maybe I'll play a couple more things at the end. Especially, I have some. I mean, the press that this thing is getting is incredible. I have a clip from CNN. Did you ever expect that you would be on CNN?
I've been on CNN a few times
Really?
with other projects, but I'll say this: I never expected to be on CNN with GWAR.
Yeah, I mean that's saying a lot. GWAR, like, and we're gonna get into all the things. Roger, thanks for being here. I guess my first question would be, what's the first time you ever remember hearing about GWAR? Like, how did you find out about GWAR? There's got to be a good story here.
There's some stories. Yeah, let's tell them.
Yeah, let's do it.
I grew up in Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of DC. How old am I? I'm 47. I'm almost 48. And I got into punk rock pretty early. I got into hair metal in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. And by 6th grade, I had Sex Pistols tapes and a lot of other bands like that. I watched MTV, as everyone did, and I saw GWAR, probably on Kurt Loder. I was in 6th grade. Hello was out, and I thought, holy shit, this is amazing. I loved
with clips from the New York's New Music Seminar, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved, horror movies. We were watching Faces of Death. Now there's GWAR. Now I'm listening to Testament. I'm listening to Sex Pistols. Like, what is this? I have to know more. I had recently been introduced to the punk rock shop in Washington, D.C. that had been there since the earlier 80s called Smash. And I went to Smash. It might have been my first. It might have been my second trip. I don't remember. I was in 6th grade. It's a little fuzzy. And I got an early Hello t-shirt, one of the white shirts with the black illustrations all over it with a little bit of red, which I still have stashed away at my mom's house somewhere.
It's not in the gallery?
It's not in the gallery. There's a shirt in the gallery.
Okay.
That's Hunter's. And I got the Hello CD on Shimmy Disc.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty quickly after that, Scum Dogs came out.
Here we go. The original Shimmy Disc.
There you go. I still have mine too.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly after, I got Scum Dogs at Tower Records in Rockville Pike, which is where I got most of my stuff. Loved it. Continued to be hooked on GWAR. And since I was basically in DC and they were in Richmond, they played DC a lot. I saw them in February of 91 at the 930 Club. I was in 7th grade. I have a photo of myself after the show in the kitchen at my mom's house that she took of me, in my destroyed, Scum 91 tour shirt, which I also still have. And I'd ruined my shoes. I was pretty bummed about that, I remember. And I saw GWAR almost every time they played the DC area after that, up until 20 years ago when I moved away. I remember seeing ROG at Fort Reno. I remember traveling to see GWAR. I remember getting all the VHSs. I was never in touch with anyone in the band. I was always just a fan and loved it. I would read interviews here and there. I would get the Mind Control Monthlies. I would get multiple other things. I'd ordered a few things from the catalog, not a ton, but a few here and there. And always just stayed a fan. And I even still have that photo of myself from back in 7th grade.
Have you posted that anywhere? I would love to see that.
I've kept that one. I've kept that one private. I'll dig it out one day.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. And so I guess skip to about, 10 years ago the book came out originally?
10, 12, 13.
I'm sure it took you a couple of years to make it, right? Like, how did that start to come together?
So by nature, I guess I'm an archivist, historian, hoarder, collector. I have a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and I love telling these histories and these stories of um, subculture, anti-heroes, weirdos, mostly done through graffiti writers, gangsters, and things of that nature. And GWAR kind of fit. We've made at this point probably over 150 books, from big publishers to small publishers to self-publishing, and really have it down to a science.
Wow, that's a lot of books, dude.
There's a lot of books. We've published a couple magazines on top of that too.
150 in how many years?
20 years.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a ratio.
We make a lot of printed material. A close friend that lived in Philadelphia, still lives in Philadelphia, Adam Wallacavage, who shot some GWAR photos through the years before and is an incredible artist himself, was friends with Bobby Gorman from GWAR. And they were talking about making a book. Adam was helping them with someone. I don't totally know the backstory, but it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made Adam's book, and I was still making books. And Adam knew I was a GWAR fan. Adam would see me in Los Angeles a lot. Adam was shooting photography for our magazine a lot, and said, I should just connect you with my friend Roger. And he called me and said, hey, do you want to talk to my friend Bobby and GWAR about doing their book? And I said, of course, absolutely. I was living in LA. I moved to LA about 20 years ago. And Bobby and I got on a phone call, if I remember right, soon after. Got along just fine and told me what he wanted to do. And we started talking about it. One thing that was so important to him and also so important to me was we include as many people as we can without driving ourselves too absolutely insane. And it's not just a photo book. We really needed to add some context. And him knowing and myself knowing that everyone has their own selective memories as some things blur
That's what
together.
this show is for.
Exactly. So we got to talk to everybody, ask them the same question 12 different ways. And same thing when I'm doing my research for all of my projects. People unintentionally mess up here and there with dates and times and locations because a lot went on, especially when you're a touring band like GWAR. And I worked with a great writer, Caroline Ryder, in the beginning in my office. And then one of Bob's friends, Nancy, started taking it over. And it took us several years. I don't remember how many words are in this book. There's probably like 30,000 or plus words in it. It's
a really thick book. I mean, holy crap.
There's a lot of words in it. And I think Bob was pretty surprised when he started
someone in
showing
the
it.
chat can start counting the words for us.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was great to put together. And Bob was out hunting down photos. He was hunting down drawings, press clippings, and he had been saving them the whole time he was in GWAR. He was grabbing stuff from people. He was doing everything he could do to preserve the band's history and learn more about it. Even though he, comes from the band early on, there's still a few years beforehand and a few, months, weeks here and there. He's not there for everything. So he really, without Bob, GWAR's history would not be as preserved and as saved. And we worked on the book, and it was so important to me to constantly say, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? We need a photo to illustrate this. We need a drawing to illustrate this. You got to help me find it. And he was fantastic in finding things. We were pulling things off of videos, pulling things off of negatives people hadn't looked at in 30 years, and put together a book I'm very, very proud of. It came out and made a little bit of a splash. We did the cover of Juxtaposed magazine. We did some other big stuff and went into a second printing. And
when was the second printing? I don't remember the second printing. Was it the same exact thing?
It was the same thing. I mean, we probably fixed a couple spelling errors.
So here's the original. So you're not doing this cool cover anymore? Was that too much?
We wanted to make that special. Yeah,
it is special.
The first printing and second printing of a lenticular cover. It has the little insert of the fan art, and it has the
blood red pages.
Yeah. And it has the gilded sides, which is really special, and we wanted to do it. And it's an expensive book to buy, and people want it. And I don't love that it's expensive in a sense. I want people to be able to get it, but It's
You
kind
get
of
the quality for your money for sure.
yeah, it's kind of awesome to know that a book I made, 10 plus years ago, people want, and they're buying on the secondary market for, real money. That always is a nice feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you want, people still want, or this stuff you made, people still want, I should say. So that's a good feeling. And we were talking about reprinting the book for a while. I kind of bullshitted around with it. I got busy. Bob got busy. What are we going to add? What are we going to do different? We just didn't do it. We had been talking all along too about doing a nice gallery show. GWAR had done a few smaller shows in Richmond. The ICA, a museum in Richmond, had opened. We were talking to them. We were talking to the MCA Denver. We were talking to a few other people about doing a really large format GWAR show, as the book had impressed a lot of them, and they really saw GWAR for what GWAR is, an artist collective that does many, many, many things.
Mm-hmm.
And it just never happened. Museum politics, timing, budgets, a bunch of old gray-haired ladies and board members of museums that did not want to take a chance on GWAR.
Yeah.
Because GWAR was not institutionalized. Well, GWAR is probably institutionalized like crazy people institutionalized, but
Right.
not museum institutionalized.
Like suicidal tendencies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect reference. So
exactly.
I had been doing a lot of museum shows. I'd been doing a lot of large format shows on our own, Art in the Streets at MoCA, Los Angeles, Pump Me Up at the Corcoran, and I'd started doing Beyond the Streets on my own, which started in 2018 as a 40,000 plus square foot show with over 100 artists. 2019 in New York, over 100,000 square feet. For those of you that don't know what 100,000 square feet is, that's basically 2 city blocks. We did these really
in New York. Where did you do it in New York?
It was in Williamsburg.
Okay. Yeah.
We did these really ambitious shows, and we were telling stories. We were working with mostly artists coming out of graffiti, street, rule breakers, mark makers. Hundreds of thousands of people were coming to the shows, and it was incredible. GWAR didn't really fit in that format of what we were doing, but GWAR was never far from my mind. As Bobby and I sometimes don't talk for a little while, but we would catch up here and there. I would see GWAR when I could, when they were in LA. And it was always one of my favorite books I'd done. And I was constantly talking to people about it and wish I'd had more copies and could be giving it to people as gifts, or when people would write me for it. And sorry, I don't have it. I can't get you one. And eventually we were talking, I'm like, let's reprint the book. This is, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I honestly just got tied up, and we had plans, and I didn't do it. And I'm sure he was a little bummed. I'm sure management was a little bummed. I ghosted them a little bit, not intentionally, just life and work. And
sure,
we have this gallery in Los Angeles. That's our flagship space. That takes up a lot of time, and it kind of just happened unintentionally. And I knew though I needed to step up and get it done. And I had still had in the back of my mind and probably on my shoulder yelling at me a lot, thinking, why haven't you done a GWAR show, Roger? Why haven't you done a GWAR show? In the gallery here, we launched an incredible Beastie Boys retrospective, the Gorilla Girls, Teen Angels. We've done a lot of things that are highly ephemera-based and telling the band stories. And we really look at this space, which is an incredible location on La Brea in between Beverly and Melrose, as a space to do what a lot of museums are afraid to do and what a lot of museums should be doing. Not just putting paintings on walls and serving wine and cheese. Yes, we do put paintings on walls and have, more traditional openings once in a while, and we love those. But, doing these really ambitious, more museum-driven shows is what we're really about. We're about telling, the story of subculture. And I'm on the phone with Bobby and management, and we're talking about me finally doing the book. And I'm sure they're rolling their eyes like, get your shit together, as I would have been if I was them. And we're talking about it, and I said, why don't we just do a show at the same time? Like, screw it. Let's just do a show. Sorry. I hadn't talked to Bob about it. I hadn't talked to management about it. I kind of just blurted it out. I hadn't been thinking about it where I'm going to pitch this. Let's do it, guys. And they're like, sounds good.
Instinct. It was instinct.
Yeah. I mean, Bob is familiar with my large format shows and has seen them. And, management, I think, was familiar enough and knew if Bob said it was good, it was good. And I've spent a lot of time on the phone for the next 8-10 months with Bob, with management, with other people on the team, really going through things detail by detail. And everyone was so great. Everybody asked a lot of questions on all sides. I'm sure, it was, hey, Bob, send me this, send me this, send me this. And, Bob and GWAR don't have big checklists of we have this monster, we have this head, we have this.
Right. It's just
Exactly.
all stuffed in the
Yeah.
in the pit.
They have an idea of what they have. They have an idea of the sizes, but it's not like, sure, let me just pull that down and measure it. So it was going through a lot of photos, a lot of guesstimates, and figuring it out, and a ton of back and forth. And, we said, let's reprint the book to go along with this. We fixed a few typos. We fixed a few errors in it, and we added a show list.
Yes, is Hunter happy with it now?
Hunter seems pretty happy.
He seems pretty happy because he used to, the big book of lies, I think he called it.
Yeah, but he was still selling them.
I know. That's the fun part. I think he's always very proud of what he's done.
Yes. So we updated the book and put it together, and we put it together for the show. And I was definitely scratching my head a lot of what's going to be in this show, what's what. I know Bob was too, and we were going back and forth figuring out what it was to make it work. And I ended up just going to Richmond for a few days and sitting there and said, we're going to get more done in person. And I went through flat, and I just went to this pit for 2 days. Went through flat files, went through Bob's archives, at his house.
I'm so jealous.
And it wasn't as incredible as going through this stuff was. Unfortunately, I kind of removed my brain of like, I'm going through this as a fan. I'm not going through this as a curator trying to figure out how I can connect this to this, and how when CNN or the normal person comes in, they're going to appreciate something and get it. Because if I get too in the weeds, the show is not going to be able to be as successful as it should be. So it was really trying to figure out what to do with that and the best way to do it. And, I don't go necessarily straight to the computer when I'm designing these shows. I sit down with a pencil and some paper and, some dimensions and scribble and a bunch of erasers and scribble again and again and again. And Bob likes to work that way too. So it's great. We were really able to complement each other and, bounce ideas off of each other and pull things out that I never would have thought to pull out, and he pulled, and vice versa. And no, that's not going to work. Yes, that's going to work. Oh, what if we mash this together with this? One of the earlier challenges was, as I'm sure most GWAR fans know, is it's not like the 1988, the 1982, the 2001, whatever it is, set of costumes, stage props, and everything fully exist, because since GWAR's inception, they have continued to repurpose things. Just destroyed after a tour, dry rot, etc. So not everything lasts. So Bob and myself being just so picky and anal, wanting to tell things so chronologically and perfect and what goes together. That was our biggest challenge for several months, going back and forth on the phone and email. And that won't work. This is never going to work. And we started to realize, like, what? We just need to show the growth of GWAR. And you walk in the gallery, we built these 2 foot tall pedestals that everything is, not everything, but a lot of things are on. So the costumes, the monsters, everything is, daunting. And it's really, then it's on 6 foot mannequins with, risers for a lot of the shoes.
Yeah, we're going to get to some visuals real soon.
Yeah, they're just staring at you. So, we really figured out that we can blend it together. GWAR is throw everything in a blender on stage in a sense anyway. And we pulled together the show through like a common ground of working with what we had. And I'll say this, they have so much more.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, I bet you could recreate this show in that way, but like with 100% new material.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, well, let's. I want to ask one more question about the book for now, and then we'll get to some chat, and then we'll get to some visuals, because people really need to see, and especially the opening. It seemed like such an event. I think my favorite thing about the new version is the addition of the complete tour dates at the end. As an archivist and of myself, and I think the band is okay with me saying this, but I collected a lot of GWAR bootlegs growing up and stuff, and I was always like very interested in this kind of information. You know, I'm like Mr. Liner Notes over here. So was that like probably the biggest addition to the book, and were you involved with that at all?
Bob put that together. He'd wanted to put it in the original version, and I honestly don't remember. We probably just had a page count we needed to hit.
Right.
To do it. So he updated it and we added it.
Yeah, that's incredible. Let's catch up with the chat here. Elaine left some comments. The exhibit is so great, and thank you her for helping me put this show together as well. And she has a question. If you had a particular piece that made you go, no way, like what was the most exciting piece for you to see in this gallery?
That's a good question, and I've been asked that a couple times, and I've thought about it as I continue to walk through here, staring at everything. And every day when I'm in here, you know, more than once, I'm like, oh crap, look at that! Oh crap, look at that! The original two flyers that are oversized, probably 18 by 24, the drawings that Hunter made for the first
PB Kellys.
Yeah, just knowing those exist and that those are.
So that's an original. That's not a print. That's like an original.
That's the original art.
Wow. Oh, the original. Okay, wow, that's even better.
The original drawings.
I used to have a printout of that in my room as a kid. Just look at it every day. Like PB Kelley's art.
So those are pretty special.
I have that here somewhere.
There's a lot of things in here, but overall, when I think about the show, I really look at it as kind of a complete unit. You know, each piece makes each other stronger, and it tells a really good story. Like if we just hung up the GWAR neon sign, sure, it was cool, but it's really about everything we put around it and the story we told.
There it is.
There you go.
Incredible.
That's the real art.
And yeah, the original slave pit sign, right?
Yep. Hunter's
I can't believe that exists. Like still, that must have been up at the dairy, right?
Yeah, that was at the dairy.
Wow.
Hunter recalls making that sign, I think, in 1984.
I believe it. Yeah, and here's the neon sign. You guys go check out my episode with Neon Charlie. It is gnarly. That guy is very interesting. Roger, if you want to, you should check out my episode with Neon Charlie, who made this sign. And I let him know that he is in a gallery, and he was very happy to hear about it.
That's great.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Hello, Mew. Hello. Hello. Everyone's saying what's up. Hello, hello. And thank you for everyone who contributed pictures. That's the next thing we're going to get to is the slideshow, because then we could just talk about what we see here. The opening was one of the most interesting days of my life. I'm so grateful to have attended it. That's awesome. I'm so jealous of anyone who got to go. Well, there's still time, guys. That's why we're doing this. When is it open till November 2nd?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're anywhere near LA or can get out there, I have the OG, but I bought the 3rd edition mainly for the tour date archives. Exactly. I know. Isn't that so cool? Is there any new photos or anything in the book, or is that the rest of it's pretty much the same?
The rest is the same.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing other projects because we have such a great archive of photography and art and everything that I'm sure other things will happen.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest addition to printed matter, of course, was the Mind Control Monthly book.
Yes. Was there any good stories about making this, or was that was pretty straightforward?
It was pretty straightforward. We were talking about.
I'm so happy about this, you guys. I'm so hyped. I can't tell you.
The funny thing is, we don't even have any on display here in the show. Really, there might be two in a case, but I think there's one or two, or some original drawings from it. It was just one of the many things we talked about showing. That don't have room for.
Right.
And, but I had all the copies of it. And
are these your personal copies that were in here?
No, they're from GWAR.
Okay. Were these like the original like, you know, I'm sure they were just photocopying these and mailing them out, right? Like, is this the master versions of them, or as close to?
Most of the master versions have been lost through the years.
Yeah, I would figure so.
There's a few pages here and there, but no, we took the originals apart, and scanned them page by page and went in and cleaned them up the best we could.
Yeah, because I've seen scans of these before, and I couldn't read like hardly any of the, there's a lot of very fine small print in here, and I can actually read. It's still like pretty small, but I can read this one, and that's amazing.
We did our best. I have a lot of experience of having to reproduce old zines and books that the original working files
Contrast.
And yeah, it's not just pressing one button in Photoshop. It's really going into each and every little thing and working with it. And
luckily, it's all black and white. That must have made it a little bit easier.
Definitely made it easier. And I reached out to Hunter as we were talking to him. I was like, hey, I have this idea. I want to put it together. And he was into it. It was Mind Control was pretty much his baby, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And we put it together. I asked him to write an introduction for it.
Yeah, I read the forward and the first zine last night.
And I asked him to write it by hand, and he graciously did it, no question.
Yeah.
And I shared a little bit of the design with him of what we were thinking for a few of the extra pages, including the cover, and he gave some good feedback. And it was a good, quick little collaboration back and forth. Even the complete collection down at the bottom on the cover, I mocked it up on the computer and said, hey, I'd love you to do something by hand. And 24 hours later, I had it.
Yeah, and you can tell. And Hunter did my great GWARPod logo, as you can see in the background here. So, and I love. I noticed sort of like if I can hold both books at the same time. Jesus, these are huge. The parallels in the cover as well.
Yes.
Totally like on brand with each other, which I thought was pretty brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was I'd say a happy accident and intentional at the same time.
Right.
We only had so much to work with that made sense for a cover. And when I saw it as an option, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And one more thing before we get to the pictures, because there's a lot of pictures I want to go through. Tell me about this. This is what a surprise. Who knew this was going to happen?
I haven't listened to it either.
I haven't listened to
It came in like the day we opened.
Oh, wow.
I honestly just haven't sat down to listen.
Well, how did this come together? Was this whose idea was this? And this is a nerdy question. I don't even know if you know the answer or not, but the Ballad of Vincent Belloni, but I can't even say that correctly, but it's okay. Is that a studio recorded version, or was that the one on the Slave Pit singles? Because I have the Slave Pit singles from back in the day.
All I could tell you is what it says on it right now.
Okay, yeah.
And if I dig through my emails, I could probably get a little bit, more information. But how that happened, we knew we were reprinting the book. We knew we weren't adding a ton to it. We're like, you know what? Let's add something that's fun as a value to people that get in early. And I said, hey, can we do a 7-inch or a picture sleeve?
I got this the second I ordered the book, the second I heard about this, and I'm so glad I got one.
Thank you. So they said, yeah, of course we can do something. And we went back and forth a few times about what the music was going to be, and it changed multiple times.
Yeah, are you allowed to tell me any of the other ideas that you had? No, okay.
Those might happen one day, but
right, exactly.
We talked about multiple ideas, and then all of a sudden I just get a note, this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, send us this photo. Like, okay, and there was a couple different designs, and this is where we ended up with. And I forget, I think Jerks wrote the text. I forget.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense. He did also put together those Slave Pit singles back in the day.
Yeah, I think he wrote the text.
Nice. All right, should we get to some pictures and we can continue talking?
Yeah.
Of course, we got the book here. Go get it. BeyondTheStreets.com. Here's Bone Snapper with the book. I really loved this picture.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah. And then here's the flyer for the opening, which some people who were watching were there before it opened, right?
Yep.
And then here's with the whole band there, which is awesome. I love how colorful their their costumes are so bright, the new versions. Mm-hmm. And then there's you. So who did the mural in the background? Was that new?
So we shipped a lot of the stuff here in a pod from Richmond. It just made the most sense. and we had a pod in the back, and for the openings we open up the back, and I had a pod sitting there with a big pod logo on it, and everyone's be walking outside and seeing this ugly ass pod logo for the evening or for the weekend, and I was like, that's stupid. So I checked, and we had the insurance on it. So my friend Tim Conlon, who is an incredible artist and contributor to so many of the things we do here, and just a really helpful person, an incredible graffiti artist too. I said, hey, Tim, can you come paint a GWAR logo over this pod logo? And he said, sure. And he showed up an hour later, and Matt McGuire and Bobby Gorman, who hadn't used spray paint in years like this, they use spray, but not sitting down to do this. It's a whole other medium. Both knocked out some characters, and they're pretty good, and they were happy with it. It was fucking hot out.
That's cool. And then here's some funny pictures of you with some of the band members. I could to see Slimenstra back with the band was also very incredible. I guess it makes sense she's in LA. That would help.
She's in LA. She was very helpful. Went over to her house, got a bunch of different costume pieces. She came in here a few nights during setup and helped with setup. She's brought a lot of friends through and just been a really positive force.
The Beavis and Butthead game, that was great. Is it stuck on the end part with GWAR? Is there a way to skip straight to there for the gallery?
So obviously we know the Beavis and Butthead story. I probably don't need to tell that.
Yeah.
Too much to your people.
Right.
But one of the things that was important for me in this show, and I know it was for the band also, was not just show the costumes and the ephemera. They are an art collective, but what they're both known for is the band. And if we just show a bunch of costumes and some drawings, as incredible as they are, I think a lot of people will miss the fact how the costumes are used. Multi-generational people are coming through here. So someone might bring their kid, and their kid doesn't get it, it's a band. Or a press person that was sent here doesn't get that it's a band. So we wanted to use a lot of screens in the show, and we didn't want all to be just normal flat screens. So we worked with a great group, and we got 52 screens in here.
Holy crap.
And, there's a big video about how to make spew, a video about this. We show some really recent band stuff and some really old band stuff. And we wanted to set up this one nook as the Beavis and Butthead, even though it was a while ago, it was still such an important moment in the band's history. And Beavis and Butthead, of course, has also had such a continued resurgence that...
Yeah, they're back. A new season's happening right now.
Yeah, so we set up this corner, modeled after, a Beavis and Butthead teenage kid fans basement with, I'm sure, hand-me-down TVs and furniture and everything else. And there's a crap load of screens in there. The walls are plastered. And there's a video which is taken mostly from the documentary telling the story of Beavis and Butthead, and then other just clips of news footage and live GWAR playing. And then you can sit down and just play the game.
Yeah. I remember it being a very difficult game to play. I could never get to the actual GWAR level by playing it.
Should get it now and try again.
Yeah. I think I do have it somewhere. I just need to see if my systems still work. You got the original GWAR in there. That was incredible. And there's Captain Dinosaur here with her GWAR tattoo and her new GWAR plushie with the original GWAR, which is...
That was a special piece.
So cool, yeah.
When we were in Richmond, Bob had hinted to me. He's like, yeah, we have the GWAR. I don't know if we have all of it. It's way buried up in the rafters. Nobody's tried to put that thing on since literally 1987.
Incredible.
I don't know. He was being positive about it, but he's like, we're bringing out the new GWAR. Maybe we can figure something out with a different GWAR. I don't know what to do. I was like, bring out the old one.
Yeah.
He said, let's try and figure it out. And it's a little beat up, but it's in pretty damn good shape for something that's been sitting around since 1987.
Yeah. Okay, I guess this is the celebrity section. Ready?
Sure.
We got Grodius Maximus is a celebrity as well, but Mark Mothersbaugh, wow.
Yeah, Mark was here. He was
Had
happy.
you known him or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He's been in some of our shows before.
Oh, great. Yeah.
He's a friend of the gallery, and Devo is an art band.
Yeah, I just watched their documentary on Netflix as well.
Devo's the ultimate art band. Similar to GWAR, they're a bunch of artists and started making music, and music is, of course, what made them. And
Yeah.
still to this day, but Mark is an incredible studio artist also. And the guys in GWAR, Devo is a large inspiration for them also, going back because of that. So it was really nice that he was here and saw it, and they, everybody got along really well.
Yeah, that's so cool. Because I mean, it's like the oldest, I mean, I guess in retrospect, Devo's not that much older than GWAR, but I mean, they were like the old school concept band and then like the new school concept band come together.
Yeah, I mean, Devo, Mark's in his early 70s.
Yeah, I believe it.
He looks great, though.
Yeah, he does. And yeah, fucking go watch the Devo documentary, everybody.
It's a good film.
And then this is a famous skateboarder I hear. I don't know much about skateboarding. You tell me about this guy.
Steve Olson.
Yeah. Bob was very excited to meet him.
Who was? I didn't hear you.
Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, Steve Olson is a sweet guy, huge LA history, early skateboarder, early with punk in the crossover with the bands. And he's still around to this day to tell the story, show up, be supportive, and, be Steve Olson.
Yeah. Incredible. And then Amanda Palmer.
Yeah, she popped up. I think it was the day we opened or the day before we opened. I forget.
Yeah. I'm an old school Dresden Dolls fan, and I don't know if he made it to the gallery, but here's John Freeman with the drummer, Brian Biglione, who also plays on some of my material. So guys, go get some of my albums, vonesper.bandcamp.com. Did he make it to the gallery as well, or?
I don't think he did.
Yeah. This must have been down the street, but I know, yeah, they were just in LA that night. I think they popped.
Yeah,
over.
It was quick.
Yeah, they were doing a secret show, I believe. So yes, Brian's an old friend of mine, so I was like, oh, awesome. Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know him before? Robert Trujillo. Did I say his name right? I think.
Trujillo. Yeah,
Trujillo.
Super nice, supportive. Him and his wife, who's also in a band and a great artist, they come out to the shows, and
that's cool.
They love the art, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So Metallica, come on, bring GWAR on tour with you next time, right?
Exactly.
And then Peaches Christ. Did you meet Peaches Christ?
No, I didn't.
Famous drag queen, does a lot of stuff on the Shudder, I think.
Sure. I know who Peaches is. I didn't even know. See? I didn't know that.
I don't think it was during the opening. I was one of the other days, I guess, when Hunter was around. It's not as much of a celebrity, but to me, he was on the show. Kevin, he has a band called Faith No GWAR with Piggy D, who plays with Marilyn Manson currently.
That's fun.
And that's a whole other. Watch the episode on that, guys. Faith No GWAR. It's the only Faith No More and GWAR cover band, but they are also their own concept, so it's a trip. I don't know.
Are they still active?
I think what they claim is they were only going to do one show, but I think it's going to transform into something else probably. Okay. But he also has a band called Lords of Sin, and they're pretty thrashy, so it's pretty cool. And there he is getting the techno. And here, look, my friend Zlata, friend of the show, in the chat right now with, I'm a member of Green Jelly, and here's one of my fellow Green Jelly band members, Bender Stacks.
He's been around.
Yeah, I bet. He's a character, that guy. There's some just pictures from the gallery. We saw these. The Gorgor. I love these pictures. I forget which outlet this was from. Spin, maybe, with all the band members with their old costumes.
Yeah, Suitcase Joe took those. We documented. Yes. We probably shot 50 hours of film in here with 2 cameras of the setup. Tons of formal interviews with band members sitting down. We took them out into the city, and also we have thousands of photos. So we have a lot of great stuff.
What are you gonna do with that?
We're keep watching our social, keep watching. We're inching stuff out.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, that's not part of the gallery, but yeah. Is there any yeah? What were the highlights for you of the gallery opening and the acoustic performance? Like, what was it like for you to experience that?
It was fantastic. We're a couple thousand people here throughout the opening weekend. We very intentionally looked at it as an opening weekend with 3 different openings, with a press day ahead of that, even so, almost 4 different things. And this show is so big in a sense; it really is large with big stuff. I mean, look behind
Yeah.
me, drum set. There's big stuff in here, so we can fit 1,000 people in here between the front and the back. And I didn't
Amazing.
want an opening with 1,500 people at it because you can't see anything.
Right, right.
So we very intentionally, I said to the band, can we get you here over 4 days with the press and the openings so you can meet people, take pictures with people, spend time with your friends, spend time with your family, not just be super inundated. And we can spread it out and give people time to come and not, here's the moment you missed it. And they graciously said, yes, absolutely. We think that would be a good idea and more important. And we'll still get tired, but it makes sense. So it was a really nice day, or nice several days of openings, and seeing just the amount of people that come. And I know I said it before today with you already, but it was multi-generational, like the people that were coming. And a ton of my friends came by, thought what we were doing were ridiculous, didn't really know what GWAR is. And a ton of my friends came by, do know what GWAR is. We're so excited about what we were doing. The openings were really, really solid in seeing how happy people were with GWAR here, whether they were in costume or out of costume. People were almost as equally happy to talk to them and understand the creation and really look at them without, I think, worried about getting, some kind of spew in their face.
Right.
And
Yeah, totally.
up close what the costumes are, because how many people have got to see what these costumes are up close? Not, in a concert setting, very few.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was special, and I think that that's what the openings did. The openings really showed people the art of GWAR.
And then the acoustic performance, they played a song they never played before, which was amazing. Pussy Planet. There was the reunion of Symenstra and techno, and that just seemed like a really special moment.
Yeah, we were talking about different things we could do in here. Are we going to do a sign-in? Are we going to do a concert? Or what are we going to do?
All of the above.
Yeah, it's a big space, but it's not a massive space. And we could do a concert in our back parking lot, but then you're in a back parking lot, like it's not as special. You should probably get a stage and make it a little bit more, set up, or just say, fuck it. And we're literally going to play in the gallery in front of our stuff, which made the most sense to all of us. And it started off as just them doing 3 songs acoustic, not in costume. And then as the conversation continued, no, we can't do that. We need to do full band if we're going to do that as ROG. It's not GWAR if we're not doing that. So it was just a lot of sensible conversation back and forth, as you would expect. And it turned into, we're going to do 3 members in costume, 3 songs. Those 3 songs turned into 3 songs and some poetry, 4 songs and some poetry, 5 songs and some poetry. Hey, we're here at the gallery. We really like what we see. Danielle's hanging out. She's helping. Like, everybody's getting along awesome. Why don't we do this? Hunter's here. Everybody's getting along awesome. Like, why don't we do this?
That's the most important thing to me. It's great to see everybody getting along and having fun with, like, they look what they built. It's all around you. And at that, look at this getting press. Here's Spin.
So much of it
Los
really,
Angeles Times.
I mean, what you just said is, you're performing to it was almost all fans. We didn't invite, this special friend or that. Like, we really wanted fans here for it. And that's 85% of who was here, for fans and family members. And it was about 150. We wanted to keep it tight. We probably could have fit a few more, but it was really tight. But yeah, they're performing around their history.
Yeah.
Like, that was special for me to see, and I think special for the band to see. Then don't forget, there's a bunch of band members here that weren't performing that could just watch.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then press. The press.
The press is insane.
Yeah, LA
Times, CNN.
And the
Uh,
LA Taco, Not Fest just came out.
yes, I saw that.
I'm sure there's a few that I'm forgetting. We're doing this right now. Like,
Yes.
it's coming.
Yes, CNN and the GWARPod. Let's put those in the same sentence, you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll say people beating up and touching techno. I love
And
that.
Techno was here last weekend on Saturday for the day. skating
Right.
around.
And then I love this, the women of GWAR together.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, I love these pictures. It's just like, it seems like a real family gathering. Techno with some puppy love going on
Yep.
here.
Lots of dogs. We're dog friendly.
Excellent. And
Great
here's
dog.
the performance. And my friend Anthony gave me some
Met him.
pictures.
He was
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, he's got some pictures in my documentary about Haunted Garage. You know anything about Haunted Garage?
I know the name, but I don't know a ton about it.
Yeah. Well, then this documentary is for you.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll play a trailer for that as we close it out as well. Yeah, and here's some stuff from the merch store. I mean, it's not just the book. You have a whole product line that launched, and it's incredible. I keep finding new stuff that I want. Posters, T-shirts. This would be great for my backdrop here. You know, yo-yos.
Still coming. There's still a few more things that are coming in the next week or two.
Oh, wow. So just keep your eye out. Go to Beyond the Streets. Yeah. Let's catch up on some comments here. Yes. I remember Bob explaining to me how he drew Bone Snapper on the pod. We both agree the character is hard to draw. It's so awesome to see Slimentra in 2025. Same with Tekka. Yes, and together at that. Like, it's like a whole family reunion.
It was like a reunion. They, again, I think the live performance shows that. Like, that wasn't planned. It was everybody just hanging out, talking, and hey, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the behind the scenes of them, practicing. They're hanging out in one of the rooms, and then the next room, then the kitchen, and it's Tommy and Casey with guitars and Bishop singing, and like, hold on, let's do this, and like they're sitting in front of their old stuff. They're making jokes like, this is just our old shit. It's like a garage sale. Like,
yeah, it's like for the characters, it's like just opening up their closet, like, oh, here's my old armor. Yeah, sure, put it on display.
Absolutely.
Did I pronounce your name right? I was a little worried about that, but I guess I got it right.
Roger Gastman.
No, not your name.
Oh.
And Maniac's here. That's cool. Yes, cool. People were talking to Slimenstra. They never played Pussy Play. I don't think they've ever played it live. No.
I don't know. That's news to me.
Yeah, it was a special moment. And I think Slimenstra was supposed to sing it on the record, but then Bishop ended up doing it instead. So seeing them do it together was like, oh, that's how it was always supposed to be, probably, That was awesome. Yeah.
Someone's upset they couldn't see, but hey, they were here.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's upset, but it just I'm sure it was packed, but I'm sure the energy was like really exciting. Yeah, it was worth it though, exactly. So don't be my clock maniac. Elaine wants to know if there's any one particular piece. Oh yeah, we did that one already. Yeah, let's see. So do you want to go through some GWAR news with me as we close out the show? Let's see. I mean, GWAR has been in the press for other things than your show this week. It's been a huge week for GWAR. Have you seen the viral videos going on?
I've seen some stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought comedy was legal, you guys. I'm glad to see it. Libs of TikTok. What was this other news outlet? Something huge. It might have been the LA Times again. I forget.
It's been making its rounds.
Yeah, the last podcast on the left. Did you listen to this one? You guys. This was incredible. I think GWAR should do more ensemble interviews together because it was hysterical. And of course, the return of GWAR is out. Go get your merchandise. Go get your GWAR plushies, the toys. Pre-order the toys. There's so much GWAR happening right now. It's GWAR live from the Hellmouth. You can go see that concert live on whatever the website that concert's on. And the tour's coming up with Helmet and the Dwarves. Holy shit. They just did last week with my friend Savage Master. That must have been really cool. Oh, and here's news. We're doing this again on Sunday. We're doing a tribute to Mike Delaney, and Bob Gorman will be here joining me, perhaps some other people. I'm not sure yet. It's a sort of an open invite to any scumdogs who want to talk about their fallen brother here who recently passed away. He's one of the original Dim Times GWAR members. And yes, I know executioner is spelled wrong, but that's how it's spelled on the family tree that's in the book, so I kept it as such. I don't know who wrote that, probably Bob back in the day, right? Yeah,
You're
so
gonna ask him about that.
I will, I definitely will. And then, of course, watch some of our recently aired episodes. Elaine was on last, the band Fulminator, who has a new music video today. Faith No GWAR, here we go. Brad Roberts was on the show. Hunter Jackson was back. Bob Gorman was here in January talking about the archive. If you like crazy monsters and art, go watch my regular show GWARPod, where I just interviewed my friend from college, Ben Fergal, about his crazy band Nuclear Power Pants. And they were like angular dinosaur, glow-in-the-dark monsters and a two-headed singer. And this is also coming up on my show October 2nd. My friends Black Rose Burning will be here. Oh, here's my documentary that I'm working on. I'll play a trailer at the end. There is some GWAR. There's a whole section about GWAR in this documentary because Haunted Garage was also on Metal Blade at the same time as them, and it was sort of like a tension. And Brian Slagle, I interviewed him. Go get my albums. Brian Viglione from the Dresden Dolls plays on some of it. Go check out my band Pop Perversion at Pop Perversion. Okay, I think I did all the news.
You got a lot of stuff going.
I know. I don't know how I do it. I did want to ask you, well, I guess in general, after the GWAR exhibit, what's coming up for you personally that's maybe not GWAR related?
There's more books coming constantly. There's probably another 4 books coming out this year. There's a Kenny Scharf book coming, Burt Crack, the tattoo artist, a Hip Hop Flyers book from the late 70s to mid 80s, a few other things like that. I've been working on a book that's also coming out probably the end of this year, early next year, and a new documentary with the band Dead City Punks, who, if you all don't know, check out. They've been causing mayhem in LA since.
They're a current band?
Current band. You've probably seen them on the news. They play illegal shows mostly where they shouldn't be. Thousands of people show up, riot cops, police helicopters, all the good stuff.
Nice. That sounds like a fun documentary. I'll check it out. Dead City Punks, you said?
Yes. Yeah, they're worth checking out.
Now, I went through your website a little bit about all your past galleries, and there's a ton of artists you've worked with, of course. There's one I wanted to ask you particularly about. I know he wasn't there, but maybe you have some history with him or his art, and that's Ramel Z.
Sure. I never met Ramel Z. He passed.
Yeah. I had someone on my show who recorded his last album that is still yet to be released.
But I'm a huge fan of the work. So many mutual friends and acquaintances, and we've shown the work several times as it fits what we do, it fits the story, and a massive innovator.
Yeah, I know him from Praxis and his work with Buckethead and that kind of crew.
Yeah, really
familiar.
Important, really important and innovative artist.
I saw him live. I never met him, but I did see him perform once. I didn't know he was going to be performing, but he just showed up at a Buckethead show and was on stage for a couple songs, had the big suit on and everything.
You got lucky.
Yeah, I got some pictures of it too. Who knew, And yeah, it's sadly he passed away. Absolutely hilarious that conservatives are crying out GWAR, but I guess history repeats itself. I think it's very funny. I hope they get more press on it. Exactly. Any chance of moving the exhibit to the East Coast or Midwest? Right, there's touring show.
I would love the exhibit to travel. It's a big exhibit. It's a lot to pack it up. It's a lot to travel it. It's a lot to show it. no shipping companies doing it for free, and no location is setting it up for free. So
Exactly.
a lot of production and time go into it. We are talking about the opportunity of moving it if the space is right and can treat the show as it needs to be treated. We absolutely would love to continue to see it growing.
Amazing. Apparently Don Drakulich was going to show up, but he couldn't make it. Did you hear about that?
Maybe
Maybe.
we we got a
Maybe.
nice sleazy outfit in here.
Right. Yeah, we could have seen him doing one of those as well. Okay, let's end it on this. Like, what's your favorite era of GWAR, or your favorite GWAR album, or your favorite GWAR song?
I've continued to like and really enjoy something about all of the records. It's going to be the memory of the first two records that I got, that I had the CD of. I had it on repeat. I was young and probably not that impressionable at that point anymore. I was already pretty jaded. But it's going to be the first two records, and I don't think there's one particular song on them. I think it depends on the month or the year of which song I like better. But it's the first two records that made the impression on me, that stuck with me, 35 years later or more, you could say.
Yeah.
And I'm still here as a fan and as a curator, working hand in hand, with GWAR, creating things, continuing to push the legacy out further. And if it wasn't for those first two records that sucked me in, who knows?
Yeah. Did you like the remix of Scumdogs that came out a few years ago?
The live record or the?
No, they remixed and remastered the whole record.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, I love it. The only one it wasn't quite the same as the original was Horror of Yig, but that's because of Al Jorgensen was just crazy on that mix. But yeah, I think it sounds great. Anything else you want to share about GWAR that maybe I didn't know to ask about, and your history with them? Or
my history, I'd like to say, is continuing, and I hope there's a lot more of it. Getting to actually know several of them over the almost week they were here, out of costume versus just on a quick Zoom asking a question, as Bob has always been my main point of contact and who I talk to the most. But we all know each other through Bob and through quick conversations. But actually getting to sit down and talk and learn more about everybody has been really good, and I think it will lead to more opportunities for all of us to continue to grow the story that is GWAR. This show's scalable. It can be bigger, it can be smaller. There's more stuff, there's more stories. There could be countless films, books. The content is there and the stories are there, and this show thankfully proves that there's an audience that wants to see it, which is not a surprise to me, probably not a surprise to you, and not a surprise to GWAR. But hopefully it's a surprise to other institutions and spaces that might never have thought to take a chance on GWAR, and we can get them to take a chance on GWAR by doing this show.
Amazing. Yes, and I think their legacy and brand is in good hands with you, so I hope that this continues as well. Everything I've seen is amazing so far. As an archivist and someone who loves to dig into like the minutia of it all, what you guys have been doing is incredible to me, and I think the fans agree. Has GWAR ever killed you, and are they going to kill you?
They haven't killed me. We haven't.
What the hell?
I don't. Maybe it's good. I'm still alive, right?
Maybe on this next run, are they playing LA? Maybe they can kill you there.
They're playing down in Anaheim. Yeah, maybe I'll be killed. Have you been killed?
There's a human you left alive. What's up with that?
How about you? Have you been killed?
No, I've never been killed. GWAR, I'll be at the New York show. If you want to kill me.
Yeah,
the helmet and the dwarves.
They probably need to get in line or behind a lot of people that want to
I don't know if I'm famous enough or hot enough,
You're beautiful.
Oh, well, I appreciate that from you. I do have my blood tie. I'm ready. Let's do this. Roger, thank you so much for being here. This was a really awesome conversation. Go see the gallery. It's open till November 2nd.
It's free.
It's free, you guys. You can't get any cheaper than free.
I know.
And go to the store, go buy all the stuff. I'm gonna go buy more stuff. I'm gonna definitely get one of those yo-yos, man. I mean, that's just like a GWAR yo-yo. That's crazy, man. Who would have thought about that? And that flyer collection too. I'm gonna need to get that flyer collection.
We wanted to make fun things like that, simple and fun.
Exactly, and that's what you did. Like, I only knew about the 2 books when I ordered them, and then I went back and I was like, oh my god, there's like 2 pages of other stuff to look at too. Holy crap! Go check it out. Thank you very much. I'm going to end this. I want to let Roger go if he needs to go, but I'll end with some of the news clippings about the gallery, the CNN, and there was another one. I believe it was more local news, and I'll play a trailer for my documentary as well. And then come back on Sunday. Bob will be here with me. We're going to talk about Mike Delaney, the Dim Times scum dog, who I never got a chance to talk to. But we're going to, here's the secret. We got some old interview footage that was meant for Don's documentary. I believe that was also called Let There Be GWAR. I forget. Yes. Yeah. I have Mike Delaney's interview from that they sent me, and we're going to watch most of that and comment on it and reflect on his time with the band, and it's going to be a good time. So Sunday, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock if you're in LA. Come back.
Thank you for digging so deep into GWAR and doing this and keeping the stories out there.
Well, I think we have the same kind of wavelength on that kind of thing. Like when I saw the documentary, my biggest problem with it was that I didn't get to make it. So this is my contribution to it all, Well, and you, what you're creating, I think, is doing that as well.
Thank you. Well, keep digging. I appreciate it, and I know.
Yeah, and likewise, keep digging. Let's keep GWAR alive, both past and present, at the same time. Let's do all the things. We want to see all the things, and we got the toys coming finally. So, 40 years, we finally got some legit action figures coming. Let's see what's next. All right, you guys, I'm going to play some videos, and I'll see you all Sunday. Bye.
Imagine Alice Cooper with about 1/100th the money.
If the Cramps had been a heavy metal band.
Crazy as H, blood-splattered, ear-splitting hilarity.
The Wizard of Oz meets splatter horror films.
The gag is, you're in the splash zone.
You're covered with goo and blood, and if you're not completely soaked, you didn't have a haunted garage show.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
It's basically walking into the most brutal, gory film right in front of your face.
It was probably the best part of my life.
I think of him as a guy with commitment to his art.
That's Dookie. I mean, he wants to take it as far as he can take it.
You gotta see this band.
Wait a minute, are you gonna get this?
Oh, thank you.
Shock rockers GWAR may be best known for their onstage antics, but the band was born out of an art collective.
Most people are aware of GWAR, the shock rock band, but they're not as aware that there's an art collective that produces GWAR. So this is shining a light on that aspect, of course celebrating the rock band GWAR, but the artists behind it.
The collective's creations are being shown at the Beyond the Streets Gallery in Los Angeles.
We have a massive exhibition up called Let There Be GWAR that shows 40 years of their costumes, their music, and everything else.
I think it's really cool to see it in nice gallery lighting. Even though people are able to come to the live shows and see all of it, there's not an opportunity to get up close and see all the detail and work that goes into everything.
Some of the artists have been with the collective for decades.
It's crazy because it doesn't feel like that, first of all. It's just like, oh, it's another year because we're doing something we love. So it's like, oh, you don't notice it. I was like, oh, 30 years went by. Oh, crazy, But, it's an amazing feeling to be like, yeah, here's a life's work accomplishment up on a wall here for people to enjoy.
And what does GWAR think of the exhibition?
To us, it looks like a garage sale. But I suppose people like it, yeah.
I mean, these are the things that just don't fit anymore. As you get older, you put a few pounds on, so.
Expose yourself to art, kids, because art's gonna expose itself to you. Down here at Beyond the Streets. Come on down and see GWAR.
Let There Be GWAR is free to the public, running until November 2nd. In Guarywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A new art exhibit looks at the 40-year history of the rock band GWAR.
And Rick DiMelgelia shows us some of the art and costumes that truly make the band one of a kind.
Shock rockers GWAR may be best known for their onstage antics, but the band was born out of an art collective.
Most people are aware of GWAR, the shock rock band, but they're not as aware that there's an art collective that produces GWAR. So this is shining a light on that aspect, of course celebrating the rock band GWAR, but the artists behind it.
The collective's creations are being shown at the Beyond the Streets Gallery in Los Angeles.
We have a massive exhibition up called Let There Be GWAR that shows 40 years of their costumes, their music, and everything else.
I think it's really cool to see it in nice gallery lighting. Even though people are able to come to the live shows and see all of it, there's not an opportunity to get up close and see all the detail and work that goes into everything.
Some of the artists have been with the collective for decades.
It's crazy because it doesn't feel like that, first of all. It just like, oh, it's another year because we're doing something we love. So it's like, oh, you don't notice it. I was like, oh, 30 years went by. Oh, crazy, But it's an amazing feeling to be like, yeah, here's a, life's work accomplishment up on a wall here for people to enjoy.
And what does GWAR think of the exhibition?
To us, it looks like a garage sale. But I suppose people like it, yeah.
I mean, these are the things that just don't fit anymore. As you get older, you put a few pounds on, so.
Expose yourself to art, kids, because art's gonna expose itself to you. Down here at Beyond the Streets. Come on down and see GWAR.
Let There Be GWAR is free to the public, running until November 2nd. In Guarywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
I've never heard of that before.
I know, me neither.
Very
Of acoustic music. Gonna smash, gonna beat, gonna stomp, gonna kill you. The queen, the goddess, the one and only Slime Extra High, Pussy Planet, ladies and gentlemen. Sack the jaws of death, ladies and gentlemen. Now we would like to perform some free jazz while I read a poem. I've conquered planet stupid.
Wow, that was probably the worst fucking poem I've ever heard in my whole goddamn life.
Why are you playing that music?
What's up with that? Sounds like
I did not understand that these motherfuckers were coming here tonight. What the hell are you assholes doing here?
How dare you disgrace the memory of the scumdogs of the universe? Must die!
More destruction! You must go on its rock must die! Why must that you suffer? We each have our own private plane.
I'm the real techno-destructor. I said come with me and fly into the sun, but they said fuck no, we're heading to war. Must die. Must die. Can't kill me. You won't break me. Chain me. I think I'm gonna go home and go to bed.
That's a good idea. This song is for Odorous Urungus. When I'm traveling down that road, I'm carrying that heavy load. All the wheels keep rolling, and another mile goes gone. Hauling on that road behind. Oh, can't you hear me calling, just like the sad whale song? While I'm on that road behind, and the wheels keep rolling.
Love you, Odorous!
40 years of war. Let there be war.